some are here. They still might move over it.
Microphone.
Let me know if my phone gets in the way.
It doesn't matter.
Yo, it's brisk. It is. Got about 6 minutes or so. We'll kick this right at 11.
Perfect.
It's cold. Some of you all have been waiting here for a little while, so I apologize for the wait. There's some additional information that I want to get sorted out with the crews that have been on scene.
Is it going to be you doing it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
As long as I'm not in the way, that'll work.
If you want to do that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. It's just sitting there not being used. Or you can put it however you want. You can adjust the table.
Okay. If that's cool with you. Thanks.
Anyone else need one? Microphone check 1098-765 4321. Microphone check 1098-765 4321. Deputy Chief's a bit taller than me, a bit louder than me, but mic check 1098-76. You guys need a white balance?
Sure. Take it if you got one.
Shirt?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, boys. Gotta make myself useful at some point.
Lord knows I don't.
He's a little taller. Whoop. I'll bring it back down because that's what happened. I'm gonna use that. Who's it? Is that yours? I'm just gonna lay it there.
That's fine. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
What is the table actually? Okay.
Right, I know. It's a massive spider.
Is it okay if I, are you using this paper? Okay, if I set this
Good morning. Oh, man. I'm going to have to take off some cold stuff here. Whew. Everybody hear me okay? Okay. Sounds good. Good morning. Roy Mokoso, ROYMOKOSSO, Deputy Chief, St. Paul Fire. Crews were called to the scene this morning a little bit before 3 a.m. The first unit responded inside of 4 minutes. When they got here, they had initial reports from dispatch that there had been an individual in one of the upstairs apartment units that got out through a window and then was assisted down from a rooftop of an adjacent structure by one of the neighbors. Crews got here, quickly turned to fire operations. They went interior, did primary searches on all floors, which were negative. They did find fire in the basement that it had extended up into other floors. Firefighting operations in the basement were difficult. During that time, the conditions changed inside of the building, and the decision was made to go from offensive to defensive. During that process, a firefighter had difficulty getting out, and a mayday was called. There were 2 other firefighters that were also unaccounted for during that transition from offensive to defensive. They were outside of radio communications. Fortunately, prior to the intervention of a rapid intervention team to go in and find firefighters, the 3 firefighters were able to get out. Crews were on scene all night and are still on scene now. The Department of Safety and Inspections has assessed the building and determined that it is a safety hazard, and the building will come down this afternoon. So with that, I'll take any questions.
What do you know about this
So just from what we've gotten from the Department of Safety and Inspections, it's a multi-use building, commercial on the bottom, and then 2 residents upstairs. Those 2 apartment units, one was vacant, one was occupied, and again, the one that was occupied, the resident was able to get out on their own.
Do you know, as far as the first floor, what would have been the commercial part of the building? Has that been vacant for some time, or?
From my understanding, the building has been closed, but content still remained inside of the first floor.
We know what started.
Well, the fire is under investigation. It's believed to have started in the basement. Unfortunately, when you have multiple layers that have come down on one another, it's going to be very difficult through the delayering process to actually determine the cause of the fire.
Do you know what time the building was going to come down?
Yes, the building is going to be torn down because it presents a safety hazard. It also is portions of the building is out on the university blocking the road.
You know what time that's going to happen?
It's going to happen this afternoon. So right now, Department of Safety and Inspections is just working with the adjacent building owner, just making sure there isn't a common wall so that they don't create issues for that business.
Just to clarify about the business, so do you think it was not in use?
Correct, yes.
And how unusual is it to have a meeting?
Well, it's actually very unusual to have a Mayday, I think in this situation we're probably very fortunate. Basement fires are very difficult to fight. Obviously heat rises, and as you're trying to go down those stairs, you have hot gases, you have fire coming up at you, so usually your safe space is on the floor. So to get down there, I'm sure was difficult, and conditions down there in the basement without a lot of ventilation would have been very hot. So to my understanding, the firefighters that were fighting the fire in the basement, because of the changing conditions, the difficulty they had with getting out was because some stuff had shifted, covering their hand lines and also closing the door behind them. So the firefighter who was having difficulty called a mayday, and 2 other firefighters that were in the general area, they all worked together to get out. I can say that over the last year, our department has had 36 hours of rapid intervention training, as well as self-extrication training for situations like this. So we're fortunate to have done that in this past year. I'm sure it played a part in these firefighters being able to get out.
And the firefighters doing all right.
Yes. And I'll just cover we risk a lot to save a lot. In the situation, they made entry, and they had known that there had been an occupant. The primary search came back negative, but at the same time, there was an opportunity to save the building. So offensive fire operations started. When conditions change, the transition from offensive to defensive can be a little difficult. Air horn sound, there's a notification that goes over the radios, and then everybody is pulled out. And during that process, there's an accountability process that occurs, and so that's where it was identified that 2 of the individuals were not responding on their radio. It turns out that they were assisting with helping get that one firefighter that was having difficulty getting out in the basement.
What are the firefighters supposed to
Sorry, I'm sorry?
What are they doing?
Firefighters remain on scene just in case there's a flare-up. The building, the structure needs to be completely out before the demolition process occurs.
Do you have any idea how long university this stretch will be closed?
It would be a guess that for the good part of this afternoon. Again, the building needs to come down and debris cleared from the road before the eastbound traffic on University can be opened.
What's the definition of a mayday call?
A mayday call is just it's a way to clear the air because there's a lot of radio traffic that's occurring during fire operations. The mayday identifies that this is really important, that there's a firefighter in distress and in trouble. So it clears the air, and again, we've gone through a number of trainings over this last year, just the establishment of a rapid intervention team to go in and rescue the firefighter, to self-extrication and things that the firefighter can do themselves to help themselves get out. So the mayday, again, just kind of clears the air, lets everybody know, especially command, that there's a firefighter in trouble.
It's got to be a pretty harrowing moment, though, for the crew that's working in there to hear that mayday call?
Yeah, absolutely. As a firefighter, I know that there's been situations, and you absolutely don't want to call a mayday. You think, boy, I can get myself out of this situation. So you get to the point where you have to call a mayday. Things are serious, and your life is in danger.
Is there like a leave once you make that call? I mean, it's got to be a pretty scary thing to go through.
Yes, and there's different, boy, it's a good question. No, there isn't. It would just depend on the situation. If the firefighter was injured or hurt, then obviously there would be different leaves associated to that. But absolutely, our firefighter did the right thing in regards to saying that, hey, they were in distress, they needed assistance, and then fortunately they were able to self-extricate from the situation they were in.
Last thing for me, I know you got a city full of old buildings here. This one's like 100 years old.
Sure.
It's been vacant for quite some time. How does that complicate things for your crews when you're trying to even figure out what's inside or put this fire out?
Sure, and to include this being a multi-use building, right? Obviously there's people expected in the building during the day, but then now also at night with residents up top. All I can say is that our crews do a good job of getting into different buildings within their immediate response area. So they're in buildings frequently, so they have common knowledge of them. And we do the best. And again, we're aggressive, and just know that with the older building stock, you can get quick transitions from basement fires all the way to the roof through balloon frame construction. And so we're aware of this, and we train to it.
Anything else we're missing?
No, I think we're very fortunate, again, that no firefighters were injured during this. The fact that a mayday was called is significant. And again, I point to the training that we've done, the 36 plus hours of training that we've done over this past year in regards to fireground safety and survival.
Any updates on the Arclight fire?
There will be, I've got some updates. Those will get pushed out later in the week. Okay, I'm just waiting to finish the investigation piece and get a little bit more clarity on a couple of things. So. All right, no other questions? It's cold. I'm cold, that's for sure. Thank you.
Thanks.